So highlights of the May 2026 night sky. I like to always show this. We probably have some new listeners. I've shown it before, but it's important to look this over. So every month, John Goss, who just spoke, puts out night sky guides. Um, puts out either sometimes three, sometimes two. Usually the map on the right here is also in Spanish. We'll talk a bit more about this later later in my presentation. I'll have a slide on this, but this is he always puts one. If you can only see one event this month, see this, and we'll talk about this event a little further in presentation. We spend a minute on the night sky map. So the club I'm in, we just finished teaching a series of 6 beginner astronomy classes. I teach one of the classes. Other people in our club teach the other 5. But I teach the one about observing techniques and sky maps. And if I mention sky maps to our class once, I probably did it 10 times. This is more than a sky map. This is a way to learn the sky. And that's what I tell all these beginner astronomers. If you want to really enjoy the night sky, you need to learn it. And this map every month is a way to do it. It's not just a map. If you go over to number 1, start from the stars of the Big Dipper. Now, a beginner astronomer now knows how to find the North Star. If you take the cross diagonal stars, you can find Castor and Pollux. And near Castor and Pollux on the map is Jupiter. Thirdly, you can go below the Big Dipper to find Leo. So now you've found not only the North Star, Castor and Pollux, the twins in Gemini, and Leo the lion. And then if you follow the arc from the Big Dipper, you can find Arcturus, which helps you find Bodes, and then you speed on to Spica. Arcturus and Denebola in the back of Leo and Spica make the spring triangle. Then if you draw a line from Arcturus to Vega, in the middle there, you can go through the Northern Crown, Corona Borealis, and Hercules. So secondly, then he lists some binocular highlights. M44, which I'll show a little bit later. You can find M44 beneath Pollux and between Leo. It's a great binocular object. And if you go up, now that you know from previously how to find Hercules, you can look for M13, the globular cluster. So these are more than a sky map. These are a way to learn the night sky. And when you learn the night sky, you have a whole nother series of friends. All the constellations now become your friends when you see them. So how do you find these? Astronomical League website. Scroll down to the very bottom of the page. Go to Navigating the Night Sky. And here are the night sky tools. The May ones aren't posted yet, but they'll be posted soon. So tonight is the full moon. Tonight is the birds laying eggs full moon. That's a bluebird from our house here. So the full moon is out here tonight. I think it actually was full around 1:30 this afternoon. So last night and night about the same. They're both full moons. New moon will be on May 16th. There's a little smiley face moon that I took some years ago. First quarter is May 23rd. And a really fun thing to show if you have an outreach event, telescope set at the moon, show people the lunar straight wall, Corpus Recta. It really does stand out, and it's something people have never seen before. It's a real fun event, a real fun object to show on the moon. The moon and Antares meet up not only once, but twice. So here's on, let's see, today's the 1st. So here's Sunday night, the moon and in Scorpius. This is Antares, the heart of the scorpion. That's May 3rd. Then again on May 30th, the moon is meeting Antares again in Scorpius. The second full moon, we have a blue moon this month. There's 2 ways to describe a blue moon. One is the second full moon of a month, which is what, in this case, we are. The other way is the 4th full moon in a 3-month period that goes from equinox to solstice or solstice to equinox. That's the other way to call it blue moon. But in this case, it's the second full moon of the month. And on May 31st, this is the Frog's Croaking full moon. And yes, I took that picture at our backyard pond. And yes, I took that picture too. So here's the slide that is based upon the map that John put out this month. You can only see one event this month. See this one? So this is on May 19th. It does not need to be fully dark because you're going to see Venus and the moon and Jupiter. These are the three, other than the sun, the three brightest things in the sky. So Venus is around magnitude -4, Jupiter's around -2, and the moon I lose track of. It gets so bright, I lose track of what magnitude it is. But this would be a great sight to see, to share with friends, neighbors. Go out in the street, taking your trash out, say, hey, look at this. It's a really beautiful scene in the night sky. So the planets, Mercury will be visible way late in the month, but you need to have a very, very flat western horizon. It's going to be very close, but wait for the last couple of days of the month. Venus, the evening star, is stunning right now, shining on -4 in the west, and you can see it before the sun sets, just after the sun sets. If you had binoculars, you could probably find it while the sun is still up. But it is really a beautiful sight in the western sky. Mars will rise about an hour before sunrise, so you have to be an early riser to see that. Jupiter is an excellent viewing position. As you saw in the maps, it's in right near Castor and Pollux in the constellation Gemini. But look for Jupiter early if you're using a telescope, because it's going to be sinking into the west, and then you'll be looking through more atmosphere. So look at it as soon as it is heading toward dark, and it doesn't need to be fully dark. You can find it while there's still some light in the sky. Saturn, another early morning planet. Uranus, we can't see it right now. It's going behind the sun. And Neptune will rise about 2 hours before sunrise, another early morning planet. So a couple of deep sky objects. I like to show a binocular object, and this is one, Cancer. The crab has the beehive cluster M44, and we saw earlier you can find it up here in the left will be Leo, and down here is Castor and Pollux and Jupiter. And this would be about what it will look like in your binoculars, or maybe a telescope with a very wide angle eyepiece in it. The Leo triplet is always a lot of fun. I love to point out the Leo triplet. And it's at the back end of Leo. Leo is my favorite constellation. Why? Because same name as Leo, my cat, who has left us now, but he was a great friend of mine. So this is what the Leo triplet would look like. So you had an 8-inch refractor and a fairly dark sky. It would look about like this shot from my sea star. And if you took a long exposure photograph of it, the colors will come out, and you'll see much more detail and many more of the starry background, actually the starry form, because the galaxies, of course, are in the background of the stars in our Milky Way. M81 and M82, these are fun, and you find them by taking the Big Dipper, going across Big Dipper, draw a straight line through, get to two more galaxies. Of course, springtime is galaxy season, so here's 2 more galaxies, and that would be M81, and that would be M82. M82 is called the Cigar Galaxy. You can see the shape. And we're in the late spring now, this is globular cluster time. So this would be M3 in Canis Venatacity. You can look for M5 in Serpens, and probably the best of them all be M13 in Hercules, which we now know how to find with this sky map we looked at the start of my presentation. And then we also have M92, also in Hercules. These are fun things to see and to share, especially at an outreach event where someone may not have ever seen these before. They're all a little different. They all have different shapes and density. So it's worth showing people a couple of these. And we all know we go to Arcturus, look for Bodes and Corona Borealis and Hercules. Well, I'd like to point out another constellation, which can make up our own, of course, if we want. And I call this martini glass in the sky. I just removed the lines. I'm drawing my own lines here. So there is the martini glass in the sky. Again, a great thing to show to people at an outreach event. And this is another naked eye. I like to show not only binocular and telescopic, but naked eye objects. So this is the 3 leaps of the gazelle. So if you look beneath the Big Dipper, there are 3 pairs of stars stars cause an asterism called the 3 leaps of the gazelle. So Leo's down here, and when the gazelle leaped away from Leo, it left marks in the sky. So these 3 hoof marks in the mud were from the deer hooves. And all these are in the constellation of Ursa Major, but it's a fun one to go out for and to it's easy to find. It's between Leo and Ursa Major, 3 pairs of stars. So other free maps you can get from skymaps.com or from What's Out Tonight. These are both great resources. Not quite as good as the one John Goss puts out, but these are much more detailed. This is a 2-sided one that has on the back list of naked eye, binocular, and telescopic objects. What's Out Tonight actually is a 3-pager, and again has a list of many, many objects.